Welcome to a special episode of the Afghanistan Project podcast that is solely story. This week, if you listened to our episode with Will Yeski, you will see that there is a story from an Afghan listener, but it's a very short version of that individual's full story. I decided, the episode with Will is really long and in depth, and so was our conversation with the young teen who wanted to talk about his father's special immigrant visa process. And so today you're getting 2 episodes, and this one is the full conversation that I had with this young man who is trying so hard to help his father. So I would love for you to tell me about the situation that you are in, that your father is in right now as he waits for his SIV in Afghanistan for now, I think, more than 3 years.
Right now, I'm not a single word crossed my mind where to start, where not to start, but I'm trying to piece everything together and let you know about everything. So my dad used to be a veteran. He's a general. He used to be a general. Then American came to Afghanistan, the first invasion of United States of America over Afghanistan. So my dad kind of worked with him directly and indirectly. After that, they wanted to send my dad to Kandahar. My mom is a psychologist. She's coming from super healthy and wealthy family, and my mom didn't want my dad to go to Kandahar because my mom kind of thought it was kind of a trap. So my dad kind of listened to my mom, and my dad didn't go to Kandahar. So as a result of that, my dad got transferred to aviation, airport. After that, again, my dad found himself in working with American contracts. So he became a cargo handling agent, import and export. So he has been working for he had been working since 2014 till 2021. Then Afghanistan fell and everything collapsed and everything. So at first he wanted to get his chart and recommendation letter from Ministry of Defense, but things weren't going the way they were supposed to go to my dad. So he said, I'm not going to jeopardize anything. I'm not going to go to Ministry of Defense. So he got in touch with his CEO, Stephen Irons, and he managed to get his chart and recommendation letter from his CEO. And it's been almost like a 11 months that his case has undergone review, and it's kind of a challenging. So I want to start the story from somewhere else, Mom, if you want me to start.
Sure. What did you want to talk about? I'm happy to hear it.
Okay, everything. Well, I got this chance and I'm not going to blow it out. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. It all started with fall of Afghanistan. So I'm sure if all American allies had a chance to write their stories, they would have started the same way as I did. I can guess you're wondering who I am, so I'm not gonna mention my name. I'm 18. I'm 10, tall, muscular, coming from educated family. So the only thing that I am on this podcast, I really need something to address to get things off my chest. Yeah. So going ahead. So there are six of us in our family: a dad, a mom, and 4 brothers of mine. My father is a general, like I said. He's coming from athletic family and he's in his 50s, but he still goes to gym, something that's very rare in Afghanistan. Not to mention he had worked in aviation department in American contracts. When it comes to my mom, she's a psychologist. She's coming from also educated family. Moreover, she went to Russia and got her master's degree, but deep down she had to set everything of hers on fire, alongside with my dad in early 2000 because of Taliban. I never would have imagined of writing if it wasn't for an American brave soldier who fought with his Afghan allies shoulder to shoulder. He says, I write well. I guess I know when people listen to this.
It's true.
Yeah, when I hear the word Taliban, it brings me a flood of memories. I still can remember I still do watch CNN. I was watching CNN when I got the news that American troops would be withdrawn from Afghanistan. It was like a normal news for me because I was just a minor, but it was a shocking for my folks, for my parents. Without further ado, that day came and Taliban entered the Kabul. The airport was much crowded by people. My mom said to my dad, we would never make it to the inside, to the runways. And my dad said, we have to, one way or the other. That's the only chance we got. That's the only shot we got. Then I heard the news from CNN that all Westerners have urged all of their allies to get away from airport as soon as possible. That day we didn't go to the airport, and after that we heard explosion around the airport. A couple of explosions took place around the airport. ISIS took responsibility for that. I was speechless because, like I said earlier, I was just 16. I mean, what could I have possibly said anything? I got back to my normal routine, watching CNN. There was a special coverage going on. A big deadline appeared on CNN screen, reminding us of what happened after the very end of August. So after 15 miserable days, eventually the deadline was taken down by CNN. Maybe it was an end to an American longest war, but it was the beginning for us. That's not my one and only story that I got. I got the other one. I'm not sure about the exact date, but it was around 9 o'clock p.m. when we heard the wild shelling. Later, we have come to realize it was Taliban who was shooting out of pride and happiness from defeating United States of America and its allies. The night these shellings lasted for almost like 1 hour or something. Though I'm a boy, but I was scared to death. I managed to put my AirPods on in case of more shelling, but I discovered something else. I just want to say it one more time. I discovered something else. I noticed a sense of being scared on my dad's face, or my mom trying to use one of her psychology technique to make us laugh. So I said to myself, come on, mom, what am I, 10 or 14?
That
The
sounds
only thing that I was,
terrifying.
yeah, the only thing that I was wondering about it was no one but Clarissa Ward, CNN's international correspondent. If you are familiar with her, ma'am, have you watched her on a CNN?
I
Clarissa,
I believe so.
yeah, she was being in Afghanistan and she was live streaming while she was surrounded by the Taliban fighters, right before American embassy. Um, she's a brave woman. I gotta hand it to her. But I was asking myself, how was she allowed? And my mom is not allowed to go outside, or any other Afghan woman. Our lives uh, have undergone many changes. In many occasions, I even lost the count. Should I talk about witnessing my mom can't go to outdoors without my dad, or my brothers can get shaved because it's not allowed? This is so ridiculous. What centuries are we living in? Uh, I knew too many American allies that were sticking here. You are just a drop in the ocean, man. So my dad had worked in Ministry of Defense, like I said earlier. Uh, then he was transferred to Department of Aviation, so he has his vast network of experience. And I've got a message to those who are in charge, ma'am. I want to pass this information through your podcast. How about us? This is kind of a sentimental. This is kind of emotional, embarrassing. You want me to say it?
I wouldn't say it's embarrassing to show the emotions, but I'd love to hear more about that.
I, so yeah. So how about us? So my father helped Americans directly and indirectly. He used to be a true general. He has been a civic case holder for almost like 3 years. And little did I know his case has undergone for review for almost like 11 months in a row. He has also been arrested many times, but he didn't rat anybody out by any means. Afghanistan fell. Unfortunately, when Taliban came, my dad changed. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being perfect, 1 being miserable, beyond 10. Our lives have changed. In a space of 2 years, our lives have turned completely upside down. And nothing matters anymore. Nothing makes sense anymore. My dad is sad, upset, scared, obsessed. He's overthinking only because of working with Americans. or only because of being a protector, breadwinner, or provider. Uh, my dad doesn't care about himself, I can tell, as a small son of his. All he cares about is his family. That's what every father does. I was going through some hard time seeing my dad like that. I still am. I wanted to open up to somebody, to someone, and it finally got to be you, man, and get everything off my chest. And I kind of did by being on your podcast, expressing all that. Given these circumstances, it leaves me with no choice but to do things hidden, such as being on your podcast without my parents' knowledge in the middle of the night. Though I have reached out to many individuals, but they didn't seem much after realizing how bad the situation is getting for those who worked with foreigners. I'm starting to get sick. I'm starting to get sick of waiting. It has been like 3 years. They say nothing lasts forever, but why this one is lasting like forever? I haven't gone to college yet. I guess I'm paying because of what my dad did, working with Americans. Besides, who wants to go to college? Don't want to get brainwashed by Taliban people. I hope that one day I start educating myself about science of politics, because this politics is like a water. You gotta be shapeable and everything. This is my takeaway from 2 year. Each time we seek for help, they respond, we can't do anything. So then why would you keep posting and emailing and stuff like that all the time? Those posts and emails are just keeping our hopes alive, which will never take place. No offense. As a small son of his, I can sense that no one is getting hold of him. They say every man goes through some hard and dark moments, right? I guess he is. My dad is going through some hard times. So I'm kind of emotional reading all of this. I wrote it myself. It took me for almost like a half an hour, not half an hour, less than an hour to wrote it, and I wrote it. Kind of a, yeah, you better ask me a question.
Well, I wanted to know, how is your family getting by now? I mean, it's been almost 3 years, 2.5 years since the US withdrew. So, is your father able to work at all? Is your mother able to do anything from within the home?
Well, good point, ma'am. Uh, my mom, like I said before, my mom is a psychologist. They're kind of a complex to know. You know, they're hard to talk. They're hard to complex. My dad is obsessing, and my mom has already started to obsess with him either. So my mom is a psychologist. She was just a few steps away from getting her PhD in Russia in '90s. She ditched it. She came back to Afghanistan. She became some high-profile woman. Then all of a sudden, like I said, yeah, right now my mom is a woman of home.
Mhm.
Is it the right word to put?
Yeah, homemaker. She's not allowed to go outside the home and work anymore.
Yeah, she's homemaker and she's
Mhm.
just tried to make ends meet. And my dad, yeah, he goes to work. He goes to airport and works, but not that much because he has been called too many times by the Taliban. He has to attend every day to their office. He just have to be there. Uh, has to be there. Yeah,
That
it
sounds
has
very
been.
scary and overwhelming for him, I
Yeah,
imagine.
well, mom, I got too many things in my mind right now. Nothing crossed my mind. I don't know why. Maybe I need to take my time or something.
Do, yeah. I mean, there's no rush to get it all out. I just what would you want someone who's listening to know about the experience that you've had in these last 2.5 years?
Well, I got him a question.
Mhm.
Well, I do have a question. If you want to answer, that would be good. If you want to answer, or if you want to pass this question to somebody else, that would be also good. I just want to ask a question.
Okay.
So they say you have to study, but nobody's here to teach us. So everybody's kind of fleeing. They're kind of leaving Afghanistan. The teachers, the expertise and everything, they're leaving Afghanistan. So like this question that I have been meaning to ask everybody, but nobody seemed to give me the right answer.
Mhm.
Uh, how we can convince our upcoming new generation that education is key of success while you are surrounded with poor educated people and rich uneducated people. So, so I want to study, but I'm not gonna get anywhere,
Yeah.
no matter how hard work I put. So you just have to be uneducated to become someone good in your life.
Absolutely. And I know that that's a problem so many women I talk to particularly are facing now, since they can't get an education past the
Yeah.
6th grade, but for men too. I was talking to Heather Barr from Human Rights Watch the other day, and she was saying that it's a crime against humanity that boys are being forced to learn. It's basically madrasa style education in a lot of schools right now. And I remember hearing that in the college system in Afghanistan, there's a lot of new religious learning that is mandatory under the Taliban. So I can understand why it would be difficult to want to go to school under that. But I'll tell you what I've told the Afghan women that I talk to too, which is that the Taliban can't stay forever. They won't stay forever. And, education is something that you can get at any time, and just keep pressing on and doing the things that keep you, positive.
Well, before I got in line with you, ma'am, I was just listening to the Afghanistan Project episode 40 with
Okay.
Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to that, and that was like a really something that was really piece of art and everything. The conversation was quite very well. Sometimes it got me thinking. I just there is this international Institute for Economic Peace. It's an institute for economic and peace. This is an international institute. It's based in Sydney, United States of America, everywhere. So I just wanna. Their latest report shows countries with low education levels
Mhm.
tends to experience a higher occurrence and intensive internal conflict. Yeah, education is completely collapsing here. So
Yes. And I think I was speaking with an Afghan ambassador the other day who was telling me that the hole that the Taliban have been able to dig in 3 years is going to take 20 years to get out of. And, everybody's worried about the brain drain of all of these educated people fleeing Afghanistan. So your concerns are so spot on, and I understand, and I know that that hits you especially hard because you're of that age that you want to be going and pursuing education, and your mother is educated, and your father, was so high up in the things that he did. So I know that that has to be really tough. And I wish the best for Afghanistan in terms of getting those educated people back and bringing that robust education to the country.
yeah, I guess it is what it is. You just have got to move on. Well, like I said earlier, maybe my dad is not willing to fight for his right, but I do. My dad is in his 50s. He's not that old. He's young. I don't know why he's don't want to do anything. I guess he knows anything.
Well, he
He's
might feel like he can't do anything. And honestly, I think a lot of people hope that there's somebody who has the secret answer that will get them their SIV through, or that will push them forward in the line. And there really isn't anything like that, and it's got to feel very helpless. And he's just trying to do the best he can, I'm sure, for you. And I think it's amazing that you're trying to help your family and doing these things that are not easy.
yeah, but these they may sound kind of hilarious coming from me, but these are the things that I have done. Uh, Twice a week, I call NVC directly from my phone. Most of them even know my name. I
I
call
love
them
it.
every day, and they say it's under review. You gotta wait. I even got in touch with my dad's CEO. He's like a CEO. He's a boss. He responds to me. I even asked him to verify my dad to the state. He even verified my dad to the state before he even was he wasn't asked by the state, but he verified my dad. He verified his letter of recommendation to the state. So I did right now. Yeah, it's morning, so my brain doesn't work quite very well. I'm not much of a talker, so I'm not introverted. So I'm not,
You're doing great. I think that's
yeah,
amazing. That's real perseverance, and it just shows how much you care and how much you want to find that help for your dad. And I'm really proud to have gotten a hold of you and to hear that story. It's really important. And I'm glad that the listeners will get to hear it too.
Yeah, I hope it works because the last option was you, mom. I was kind of being pushy this whole time, kind of blowing your screen by texting and everything. I was insisting and everything. I kind of apologized, but so I had to do it, and I kind of did it.
No, I appreciate it. It's hard. I mean, I'm a single mom and it's very difficult to try to balance all the things, but I could tell that, you know, you had a story that needed to get told, and this was a really great way to tell it. And I think it will matter to the listeners. And I'm hoping it will help for your father too.
Yeah, thank you, mom. Thank you for the opportunity and thanks for the chance. Yeah, I know you have your hands full, but yeah, thank you, mom.
You're welcome. Is there anything else you'd want to share that you think people need to know?
This is how it worked, mom. The moment I got up from you, a flood of things will come to me. Right now, I don't know, nothing comes to me. Maybe it's because of me being for the very first time on a podcast or something. I'm an international student, okay, ma'am. I got too many friends from United States, Australia, Indonesia. So, and I'm also an ambassador, okay? I'm ambassador for peace. I have been running projects, trying to help girls to get a say in their future and everything. Uh, yeah, I
Well,
got too many things to say. But
that's great.
yes, ma'am.
Hey, you can always send me, if there's something that comes to mind after we stop recording, you can send it to me and I will include it in show notes so that people know. So fear not, you can always say more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
appreciate you
You
for
are.
taking the time. And I want everybody who's listening, if they've made it this far, just to know that our caller is calling in at like 2:15 Afghanistan time because it's the best time to get internet access. And, you know, that also shows the high level of dedication that you can't see as a podcast viewer, but I know that that's really not easy.
Yeah, what you're doing is, mom, is quite phenomenal. You're also trying too many Afghan women to get a say in their future. So I really admire. Like I said, like I texted you, you are the one. You're what I see. What I see in you as a woman, I admire, mom. That's quite something, mom. Your kids are quite lucky to have you as their mom. So yeah,
Well, thank you. Well, thanks for coming on and sharing that. That is our first call-in story, and I'm sure that people are going to be really glad to hear it. So thank you for doing that.
yeah. Thanks a lot, mom. I'm just wondering how to tell all of this to my dad and mom.
No, you have them listen to the podcast. They'll probably
Yeah,
faint.
yeah, they will.
Um, that's your decision. I'll leave that one with you. That's a big.
I'm kind of playing chase, kind of manipulating all of their phone and everything. I'm kind of micromanaging them so they will not get that far to find. So
Oh,
I
wow.
have been meaning to, yeah, I have been meaning to surprise my dad with the moment he gets his approval case and the moment he gets the call to, you will be uh pulling out of Afghanistan. I would say everything to him, but guess what? That's not gonna happen. So, but I'm positive. I'm positive that
Yes.
will come.
Stay positive, and I will help you with everything that I know how to do, and maybe that will get you some answers. So
Okay,
thank
thank you,
you
ma'am.
for
Thank
reaching
you.
out. Go take a
Thanks a lot.
rest.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Take care.
Thanks a lot for having me. Goodbye.
You bet. Bye.